Alright, time to actually get around to making this stupid video and like the third fresh take after trying to write it since November 3rd, 2021. So, that video title. Let's cut straight to the issue I have with the crafting system. That is, I simply don't see any difference between weapon crafting over the random rolls as a feature. Like, let's start with how it works right now. First, you have to get a weapon drop. Sorry, a specific type of weapon drop. Multiple times. Then, you gotta level the weapon to get the perks you want. For every weapon you want to craft. And yes, I know that there's a difference between want and need. Why is this a problem for me? Because I want the weapon crafting system to be a mercy timer for random rolls, a completion milestone, and as something that could reduce hoarder tendencies. This might not be what the developers intended, but that's what I feel like would be healthy for the game and what I would want. Just as it is now, it feels less like a mercy timer and more of another grind on top of the already existing grind. Where it feels like you already would have gotten the roll you wanted from random drops while trying to craft it. Hell, the changes that I feel would be needed are fairly simple to list. Difficulty of implementing is another thing entirely. Not gonna armchair dev that hard. So, the first change is probably the most straightforward. That being, red borders shouldn't be the only way to make progress towards a weapon pattern. Just getting and dismantling a random drop of the weapon should give progress towards the weapon pattern. To phrase that as a practical example, let's say for a pattern that currently needs 5 red borders would be changed to need 50 points instead. So, dismantling a non-red border copy of the weapon would give 1 point of progress, while completing a red border would give 10 points of progress. Thus, the number of red borders would be the same, but just getting a non-red border would chip away the amount needed for a pattern, so players would be able to make consistent progress. The second change is something that probably should be tied with a third change to be most effective. As for what that second change is, it would be make the weapon level bar persistent across all copies of that weapon, including non-crafted weapons. Since to my understanding, the leveling system is meant to limit crafting weapons from immediately invalidating random rolls, which is fair enough and understandable. However, leveling being across all copies would be a better gameplay loop and line up better with that design. Cause let's be honest, if you get 1,000 kills with a random roll, it would be fine if you started at weapon level 4 or higher when you crafted one. Just looking at my copies of Red Herring versus my crafted copy that I played with during the free week Bungie did. The previous one. My crafted one with 10 kills reached 22.5% of level 1, and in my vault has a copy with 24 kills and another with 20 kills. So probably worth 99% of level 1. Ignoring the end of activity XP because I ain't going that hard in calculating the progress bar. Sure, the difference between level 1 and 2 isn't that huge, but it would be a nice change overall. Plus, it flows into the not immediately invalidating random rolls by giving you a reason to play with random rolls as an investment for the crafted version in the future. Which leads into the third change, which is certainly the biggest change, and that would be tie the crafting system into the collections tab. After all, how long since it's been useful? At this point, the function to pull weapons might as well be removed with how useful it is. Beyond exotic weapons, there is no use for it. As for how I would want it to get plugged into the collections tab, well, I would change the function of the crafting table, where instead of shaping or reshaping, the table would instead be used to unlock the perk as a one-time purchase. Instead, weapons would be crafted or shaped from the collections tab at a reduced cost compared to the current cost. I would also want every weapon to be craftable. As a bonus, it would be a way to add functionality to the collection. After all, it would be nice to pick a weapon with random rolls and see all the perks it has in-game. Hopefully all those changes would kill hoarding tendencies beyond level reasons, but the community already wants to throw leveling out and I'm behind that. After all, why keep a copy of a gun around if it isn't used in a build or has sentimental value if you could just pull it from collections? Might just be me coping about my vault being up to 400 again despite getting it down to 160 before Witch Queen launched. Admittedly, this video might just be me feeling that Destiny 2 went too far into random rolls. I get everyone hated base Destiny 2 and Forsaken saved everything. I just feel that random rolls right now just made stuff random for the sake of being random.
Like, it feels like an overcorrection, and weapon crafting could have made a good middle ground instead of it just being random rolls 2, grind again. However, that might just be my opinion on how the game loot is formatted. That infests previous versions of the script. That I will simply leave for a potential future video. And leave it at, I really hate the apples equals oranges choices Bungie really loves making loot have. That is an oversimplification, but I decided to cut it out so I can actually make this dust bunny of a video without it dying again before even finishing the script. Anyway, if you listen to the whole thing, thanks for your time. So, let me do an outro at this point. YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the Twitch. Follow the Twitter while it's still alive. Good day, stay safe, and take care of yourself, everyone.